So you'll be building an index tree. This is like the index you would get at the back of a book. The only difference is that you're building the index for every word in the file I give you, and it's going to be on what lines that particular word occurred, because we're dealing with a text file, right, not a book, so it's split up into lines, not pages, right? So now the book you'll be working on is not a book. It is actually the complete works of William Shakespeare, so it's a 5 megabyte file, which is actually a fairly impressive size. Now, I realize that a lot of you may not have had the opportunity to do file reading and writing, right? In order to, how do you read a file? Well, I have apparently I have to fix the links here, which is unfortunate. But I have a file here, which is reading from file example, which shows you how to use Scanner to read a file. Now, the hardest part about that is just getting it to work with your IDE, and that's because you'll have to put in the top level directory of your IDE. It will have to, the top level directory of your project. So there will be the source folder. It'll be in the same level as your source folder. It won't be in the source folder. It'll be on the same level as the source folder. And that, from experience, I know is basically the most, that's the weirdest thing that the students have to deal with. That should fix everything there. So that's the newest assignment. I put the due date on as not this Friday, but next Friday, so around the same time as the timed lab. It'll be good practice. I also gave you a lot of code to get started with, right? Just like the circular linked list. And so I just highly recommend, rather than just diving into it, read the comments, right? A lot of the code is actually fairly trivial because you pretty much will be adapting the code for a binary search tree. So, and the difference here is that because you're building this on words, generics don't really make an appearance here, right? You'll notice that there's a distinct lack of generics in all the code for this assignment because you're just dealing with strings. So the write-up on that is actually fairly straightforward, and the quizzes, and the code has a lot of comments in it, so it should help you with a lot of things there. If you've bothered to learn regular expressions, by the way, if you've bothered to do that extra credit assignment, you'll learned a bit about regex. You'll find the sanitizing everything to be a lot easier, because that's one of the things you'll have to do. You'll have to sanitize the text or make sure, because you want to make sure that the word that and that with a question mark, they're the same word, right? You want to be able to clean that up and remove the punctuation. All right. So that's what I've got for today.